Fuck it. Fuck the intro music. I get tired of fucking with that shit. All right, welcome to the Bartenders Anonymous podcast, episode 14. We are recording from my living room because this whole house is just a fucking... The whole house is the studio now. Fuck it. I don't know how to use that expensive computer in there. I know how to use this laptop, so it's all just set up right here in the living room. I get tired of fucking with shit, and I just like to just do something simple. I mean, I'll learn more as I go, but right now I'm used to using this shit. I'm just gonna go with it. And flipping through all these fucking samples, trying to find some little 20-second intro gets a little monotonous, and I just want to knock this out. So, cold open. What do you think of that? I don't know. Talking to myself, talking to the computer, talking to this dumb microphone, talking to all 10 of you. I love you guys. Things are good. It's a good week. Doing my classes, being a good boy, peeing in a cup, learning all these little stupid things like don't drink a bunch of CBD drinks because you might get popped with THC. So, bought a whole case of CBD soda waters that are just going to sit in the fridge for like 3 months. I drank like 5 of them. Hopefully my UA is fine. Bought like a fucking half gallon of mouthwash. Didn't even think to look at if it was alcohol free or not. Used that one time and then I was like, oh fuck, I wonder if this has alcohol in it. It's like fucking 50 proof. Like 25% alcohol. I was like, okay, we just won't use that, I guess. So next week, hopefully all that's in my bloodstream is ibuprofen and caffeine and nicotine. My lovely, sober, boring life. But you learn to appreciate other pairings. One I found was a lovely flavored soda water with a flavored vape, and you can find a good, nice pairing. It's like a fine cigar with a whiskey, except super gay. But you gotta find happiness somewhere, and yeah, that's one of them. But whatever. I'm working on my. I'm gonna have my 4-day week. I'm on. Let's see. I worked on Tuesday. It's kind of a weird Tuesday, but whatever. Knocked it out, and a couple of classes. Get through those. Some other people actually started showing up, so I'm not the only one. Unfortunately, with that, they take twice as long because then we have to actually learn something and flip through the pamphlet. But that's okay. That's what we're there for. We're there to learn, to better ourselves, to contribute to humanity eventually. So it's not too bad. Go in there, try and stay positive, get through it, get that shit over with. Learn that other people's shit is way worse than mine. So compare and contrast, folks. It's always worse somewhere else, so be happy with what you got. And then this will be my first Friday working, I believe. By myself, anyways. I might have trained on a Friday, but whatever. Just another fucking day. Gets me out of the house. That's why I'm like, yeah, let's go to work. Let's work me more so I can get out of this house. I can only do so many damn dishes. You never know how many dishes you make until you hardly work. And you got nothing, can't even drive. And it's just from existing. And all of a sudden there's all these fucking dishes. And I don't know. I've cleaned that kitchen so many times. And today I was like washing a dish. And I was like, fuck. This shit just never ends. It's just like every time you put food in your body, you're making dishes. And now I understand why people get paper plates and they just throw it in the garbage. And they just murder trees. And it's because I think it gets to a point you understand people going postal. You're just doing the same shit over and over again, and you're like, nothing matters. Just fucking end it all. That's what the dishes made me think of this week. So, I don't know. Maybe maybe I'm getting to myself. I need to do some breathing exercises. Maybe some yoga. I feel like the bikes, I get to go ride my bike once in a while. That's kind of my yoga. I actually, I put my old handlebars on that new bike because I just started riding the new bike. And for whatever reason, I just hated those new handlebars that were on there. So, took the brakes off, threw my old handlebars on, and I'm like, God, this feels so much better. It just makes me feel at home, like I'm riding my old bike, just having my handlebars on there with my grips. And I don't really do any tricks still. I go ride around. But I got all ready to ride yesterday and not even thinking about how hot it is outside. I got all ready, got my bike all tuned up, got my good bike shoes on. And sorry, my computer decided to cut my recording. So anyways, I go outside and it's like fucking 95 degrees and I was like, oh man, this is going to suck. So I came back inside, put a tank top on, and commenced with the bike ride. I just basically did a lap all the way around this town. And it's hot as balls, and there's a lot of traffic. So didn't really do any in-depth riding, but it's kind of fun to just go ride around and just scope out spots that I could come back at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and there'd be nobody there. And then I could practice my little manuals and my hops, my hoppies. Yeah. So that's good. That's fun. What else I got going on? Gotta go to the notes. I switched my notes to bullet points because last week I had a bunch of notes and I was going and looking through it and it just looked like just a mess. Like I was reading a fucking Harry Potter novel or something, and I just didn't want to go through it. So I learned if I can do bullet points, then they're just shorter thoughts and I can just look at them real quick. And yeah, it's way more organized now. So yeah, if you're trying to organize your notes, bullet points, huge help. One of my notes, I was riding my bike around. Sorry, coffee time. And I saw a vehicle, and it had a custom license plate, and the custom license plate just said HYB SUV, like hybrid SUV, because it was a hybrid SUV. And I was like, what the fucking dumbest... That's like the dumbest thing you could put. You are spending money for a custom license plate, and you put hybrid SUV. It's just such a, just wasted opportunity. And so here are my thoughts of what they should have put. All right, first one I came up with was Lit Fam. I thought that was funny because it's like lit like lightning. It's lit. And fam because it's like a family vehicle. Another one I came up with was Less Gas. I thought that applied. That'd be a good one. And then my favorite one was Gay 4x4. I know they wouldn't actually do that, but I feel like that would be a lot funnier than hybrid SUV. So that's my joke of the week. Hybrid SUV, Gay 4x4. I've been getting up early, going for my walks, and I've found that I feel very much like an imposter because I've been night shift for so long, and I just feel like a double agent because I'll go out and throw a hoodie on, beanie, whatever. It's like 8 a.m, and I'm walking around the park, and there's all the old people and the people with kids and strollers, and they're smiling and walking, and they think I'm one of them. I'm not one of them. I'm infiltrating the morning. And you could do this too if you're a night person. Just get up super early and just go see what that world is about. Because they'll smile and they'll wave. They'll say good morning to you, and you say good morning back. And they think that you're one of them. But we know, us night shift people, we're out there like, I fucking don't like this. At least that's my feeling. That's how I've felt the past couple mornings that I've been out there. But it is good. You do feel good doing it. But the inevitable crash always comes around 2 o'clock. And I found that if I just take a break, like I'm at work or something, just go, okay, let's chill the fuck out. Drink some water, sit down for 30 minutes, maybe have another cup of coffee, and I found that I can bounce back. You don't have to just take a nap or whatever. It's like, just take a break. Take a break from the day. Sit on your couch. drink some coffee, relax, and then you can kind of get some pep in your step, and you just get back to it. What I've found anyways, is that 9, 10 o'clock comes around, if you lay down, you will go to sleep. If you stop drinking coffee at, 3 o'clock or whatever. I don't know. These are just my thoughts. This is my life. Take with it what you will. Apply it to your life. See what you come up with. Here's another thing I've found, that my new drunk driving is now, because you need some spice in your life still, is that I do my covert operation of driving to the store to get cat food and lettuce and tomatoes and chicken, and I'll take back roads and I'll just go to the closest grocery store possible, and I'm on high alert, but I'm sober as a gopher. But I don't know, just gotta break the fucking law. I don't want to, but it's more of a necessity where it's like I gotta get this stuff. And when I first was adapting or whatever, I walked to the store, I got a grocery cart, and I just filled it up with shit, and I just wheeled that bitch home. And it's such a pain in the butt. So if you ever see somebody with a grocery cart full of stuff and they're taking it home, don't be mean to them, because they're actually doing it the right way. They probably don't have a license, so they're doing it legally, and they hate it. So take it easy on them, because it's way easier to just break the law and drive your car. And I know so many people that have done this. I'd say 3 out of 4 people that get DUIs that I've talked to, they just drive their car anyways. And it's normally fine. But I've also talked to maybe I'll say one person that did that and then got caught, and it fucked their shit up and made it last way longer. So, very high risk for a very slight reward of just kind of being a little lazy. But yeah, that's the new drunk driving for me, is like, I'm not going to hurt anyone, but I'm still going to break the law because I got to get that damn cat food. These cats got to eat. I don't know. Is it wrong? I think I'm more like Robin Hood. That I'm breaking the law, but it's for a good cause. I'm trying to feed these animals. And I need chicken. I've been on a pretty strict chicken diet. I'm getting pretty good at cooking chicken. At 32 years old. I call them chicken steaks. 5 minutes on this side, 5 minutes on the other side. Cover it up. Boom. Perfect chicken. Almost. Let's see. What else I got? Riding my bike, blah, blah, blah. There's a branch on a tree I need to cut. I got in trouble for my till being off $200. First time I got in trouble. Well, and actually, talked to. Because the last time I got in trouble, she found it, so I didn't get in trouble. But this past time, it was just it was chaos. My paperwork was a mess. And I was like, whatever. And I just shoved it all in the bags, threw it in the safe. I was like, fucking deal with it. Figure it out. And she didn't tell me until the next week. And she's pulled me in the office. And she's like, can I talk to you for a minute? Not a big deal. But the lottery till was off a couple $100. And so she kind of showed me how to organize it, make it look pretty. It's my responsibility. And if it's off really big again, then I'll have to pay it. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, I don't want to lose money here. I'm going to work. So I was like, all right, I'll be on top of that. And since then, my stuff has been primo. I take extra time, go through it, organize all the paperwork, rubber band it together, make it look sleek, throw it in the bag, put it in the safe, A-okay. So it's good to get kind of a little spanking once in a while, because then you get your stuff together. So, at least that's how I feel now, because I've only been here a month, but I know I didn't feel that way at my last job. Every time I got pulled in the office, I was like, fuck you. I'm right, and you guys are stupid. So, trying to be positive. The shit talking at work continues. That's what they do. They talk shit. And that's fine. I've come to terms with that. And I go, you know what? Yeah, we're all just going to talk shit. It'll make us better. Unless you get caught talking shit, and then it's awkward as fuck. Speaking of which, I forgot about this. My counselor, she's just a good human being, and she talks a little shit, mainly about DHS. She's on the side of the victims, all that. She's a human advocate, and she fucking hates DHS. And she was like on the phone with her boss, and she was venting about the DHS people, and was just like fucking going off about them. And somehow she third party called, and it like recorded it, and the DHS people all heard it. So that is also a risk when you're talking shit, is that it's good to get it out of your system, but there's always a risk that somebody will hear you talking shit. And that actually happened to this lady. But it made me, it was like, oh yeah, she makes mistakes too. She's a human. And it also kind of warned me, where it's like, yeah, you talk shit, there's risk. Low reward. But it is, you got to get it off your chest. And I thought that was pretty funny, because she was just going off, calling them bitches and all kinds of, I don't know exactly what all she said, but they heard it, and it was awkward. So, beware. Shit talkers, beware. There's always the risk that somebody might hear you. And sometimes, it's good. Maybe somebody needs to hear the shit talking, and then they're like, oh man, didn't realize I was such a cunt. I'll work on that. Not always, but, could be, what's the word? Not progressive. Constructive. Constructive shit talking. Stuff I have to do in my notes. The other day, I spilled my coffee. I might have been grumpy. I was up. And sometimes before noon, I'm a grumpy pants. And I, spilled my coffee or something. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And immediately, I, mocked myself. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I laughed. So you can't be, don't take yourself too seriously. Sometimes you're shit talking to yourself. And I realized I was being a bitch, and I myself mocked myself, and then I laughed about it. Are you fucking kidding me? So yeah, got a good laugh out of that. That's not how that always goes. Sometimes I spill my coffee and I'm like, fuck this day, the fucking day's over. But that day, I got a good laugh out of it. Let's see. Boss stole my pen, called her out, got it back, not a big deal. They keep the tampons on the safe. I figured that needed to be in my notes. I realized it the other day. I was getting the banks out of the safe, and there's just a big pink box of tampons on top of the safe. And I just thought to myself, what a strange... There's thousands of dollars in here, and you just treat it like a end table. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a shabby ship, but it's a bit of a shabby ship. If you're keeping your tampons on top of the entire basis of the profits of the operation. But, not my bar. When I own a bar, I can put the tampons where I want to put them. This is not my bar. That's where they want to keep the tampons, on top of the safe. I'm going to just let the sleeping dogs lie. And whatever. That's where they want to keep the tampons. I just found that strange, and whatever. And I thought you guys should know. Sometimes, if you need one, that's where they're at. Not a slight against anybody, just an observation, people. Oh, this was funny. There was a guy this guy had complained. I've worked there maybe, 3, going on 4 weeks or something. I don't know. I'm not really keeping track. But there's this kind of dumb guy. He's probably in his 40s. and he's complained every week that I have worked about his to-go food. And he's complained to the owner. He complained to me. That was like my first phone complaint. He called in, I answered, and he just bitched for like 10 minutes. Pardon me. Not a big deal. And when I do a complaint, I'm just super nice, and I listen, and I let them get it out, and then I make a note and move along. But this guy came in again, and he sits down, and he goes, I'm like, "Hey, what can I get you?" And he's like, can I just get an Angry Orchard? I need to calm down. So, first red flag. If your mans needs an apple cider to calm himself down, beware, because this is going to be weird. So whatever, he's sitting there just stewing for a minute. I leave him alone. Here you go. Do what you got to do. And he gets the attention of a waitress a little bit later. And she's being super nice, takes his complaint, as one does, and he's just like, this happens every time. The to-go food sucks. I throw it in the trash. I've wasted hundreds of dollars. And she's like, well, you get it to go. It's not going to be as good. And I'm sorry, but, that's just kind of how it is. And he's like, well, that's not good enough, da-da-da. And they're going around in circles with this conversation, complaint, for like 10 minutes. And the owner's husband, whatever, one of the owners, I don't know what you call him, he's kind of hands off for the most part. He just comes in, gets some drinks, funds the operation. Kind of a silent owner, I guess. But he comes in and gets a drink, sits down, and he's listening to this go on for a little bit. And he goes, don't get it to go, to the guy. He goes, get it for here. It's not as good when you get it to go. Get it for here, and it'll be good. And the guy goes, oh, no, that's not going to cut it. It needs to be good. Da-da-da. Even if I get it to go. And he's like, no, man. Like, problem solved if you get it for here. You get it to go, it's not as good. I know that. Everyone knows that. And the guy's like, starts being a little asshole. And the owner goes, don't come back. Stop coming back here. And that really pisses the guy off. And he's like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. Business model, da-da-da. And he goes, I fucking won't come back, da-da-da. And he goes to leave. And the owner goes, you know what? No. And he follows him out. And he goes, don't come back. And if you do, I'll call the cops because you'll be trespassing. You're not welcome here anymore. And he comes back and he sits down and he goes, I'm a problem solver. And I was like, fuck yes. Because that's what everybody wants to say when somebody complains all the time and they just keep coming back so that they can complain, as it's not up to their standard, never will be. And we want to go, why do you keep coming back? Stop coming back. And this owner said it. And I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck that guy. He's an idiot. He drinks Angry Orchards to calm down. Get the fuck out of here. Don't come back. So, in my head, that's like 12 brownie points for the owner guy in my book. Tell him not to come back. He goes, don't. He goes, if you don't like it, don't come back. And if you do come back, we'll call the cops. I told that story to one of the regulars that gets to go food. And they go, that would make a good t-shirt. On the front, if you don't like it, don't come back. And on the back, and if you do come back, we'll call the cops. I was like, fuck yeah. Write that down for a merch idea. That's solid. So that was probably my favorite story of last week. That's pretty much it. I don't know. Shenanigans. Just another week in the life of a half-retired DUI'd bartender. And I hope you guys have a good week. Maybe I'll put some outro music. I didn't do intro, fuck it. But maybe some outro just for a little... Just a little fade out. I don't know. But I hope you guys have a good week. And I hope that this audio quality is better than last week. Because last week I was using that little mobile thing and it kind of sucks. It does have the laugh track and the boo thing and the gunshot, but the audio quality is just not as good. So, getting back to my roots. Still got some learning to do. But we're plugging away at everything. Stay positive. Get your DUIs cleared up so you can move on with your life. Go ride your bike. Go for a walk. Be a morning person. Infiltrate the morning. Swing shifters. We could just take over. We could move to the morning. Make some changes in this world. One morning at a time. One walk in the morning at a time. And, mock yourself. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, have a good week, guys. Love you a bunch. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.